Hello! Here I'm going to show you how I made the Holo-Displays for the ScumCity set. Here I've got some hellhounds that I sculpted quite a while ago, and I'm going to use those as an advert for hellhound beer. And here I'm rendering them, and just in the rendering Zbrush, and now I'm going to go to the render pass, and I'm going to save the depth map, and as in my folder here, Photoshop, and where you can see all the others that I've done previously. I'm not actually going to save this one because this demonstrates how it goes, and I'm also going to save the shaded version of it as a TIFF as well, in the correct area when I can find it, and I'm going to save it in here. There's one I saved earlier, so I'll cancel that. Now I'm going to open Photoshop. I'm not going to close ZBrush, I'm just going to minimize it, and I'm going to open Photoshop, and what I'm going to do is create an alpha. So this is the alpha that I created earlier. So this alpha is an image that will be used to tell ZBrush what depths to cut a tool. So here's my original render and depth map. I'm not actually going to use a depth map on this one. It can be quite useful, but this time I'm not going to use it. The images that I've created is quite good. So here I'm going to drag in as a smart layer my image. Now I need to get rid of that black, and I'm going to use just a magic eraser. It is better to resize this smart layer first rather than rasterize it, because you get a better image quality and then get rid of the black, but I'm just doing this for quick speed. The edge resolution will be better. I mean, it's not bad here, but it's just better to do it that way around. And here I'm positioning it. Basically the text here says what does it say? It says hellhound beer thirsty, and then things around the dog just say woof woof, and it's all in Hebrew, because it's got brew in the name. And now I'm adjusting the brightness to contrast, because I inverted the image with Control I, or is it Shift I, can't remember which, was a bit light. So now I've upped the contrast and decrease the brightness, and I've got a far stronger image with the groin of the creature and the back legs are lighter because they'll be cut less, and the head, which is more further forward, just like the text here. The black text will be the furthest forward, and as the greys go back lighter, they will be cut less. So we're going to go back to ZBrush now and go to my billboard thing where I've been creating these Holo-Displays, and this is the one that I already made. Here's the tool at the front there, and you can see the other tools are made to cut the holes so it can fit on the supports in the rest of the set. So this central part, which is going to get cut, I duplicate to make the tool. And as you can see, I'm now going to use the alpha on it, and it's got a Dynamesh on it. So this has already got the alpha on it, but I'm going to show you I import the image from where I saved it from Photoshop, and open it, and now I've got my tool. I've also keep the focal shift at 100, minus 100, and keep my Z intensity around 14 or 15. And with the drag rectangle tool set for the standard, I just drag it out towards the top and try and get as central as I can and sort of level as I can. It's not too important, it's fine. I mean, it's a funky kind of image, so it doesn't really matter too much, because then I'm going to kind of crop the piece using the move tool, and use a little scale and the Y and the Z, by pressing, I think it's Control, it will give you movement in one direction and movement in the other direction, so you can basically crop that. And now that is going to use that in the Boolean, which is either combining things or taking things away from each other. So if I press this button here, then that will tell it to take away from the things above it in the subtool list. So, and the thing above it in the subtool list is the screen. So if I move it in, as you can see, it only takes away stuff from that, not the frame. Frame is being boolean by those lower parts, which will tell it to so it can fit on things. So here I'm just adjusting this just to get the best depth that I can. So I want it thin, but I don't want it too thin that it's not going to be at a print with a 0.4 nozzle. So here I've got it where I like, and I've now clicked boolean and make boolean mesh, and now I've got as you can see, the center part is quite high. Now it's about 500 active points. That would be about 50 megabytes. So here I'm using Jason Jones's excellent tip. Jason Jones of Ataraxia Emporium told me to mask off areas, and those won't be affected by it when I do the reduction of the part using the decimation tool. So here I'm going to reduce it down to about 7.5 megabytes, or 750k active points, but not those side bits, because sometimes they get deformed, which is what happens. So here now the center is a lot simpler geometry, but it still retains the quality. It's very good. As long as you keep that at a certain level, it will still look really nice. So here I'm going to the print hub, and now I'm getting the sizes correct and exporting it to my folder, which I've got all my expansion stuff in, which is going to be the ScumCity expansion set, where they're going to be included in there. I saved it as a Holo-Display. There's all my other attempts which didn't quite work, because now I need to go and test it in Cura. So I minimize ZBrush and bring up Cura. Ultimaker Cura, I use 4.11. It'll probably work in whatever you're using. I just find I'm a bit when I get something that works, I tend not to update it, but maybe I should sometime. But never mind. Anyway, I've brought it in, and now I'm going to slice it using one of my slice files. This is at 0.12 millimeter with a 5% line infill, and here we go. It's now 6 hours and 27 minutes, and I click the preview, and there we go. Otherwise these would be gaps here where the letters is, and maybe the head is, and all those white dots are the seams, which is good. You can just rub those off when they come out. It's good to get them on that front edge, the flat edge. As you can see, that it's worked correctly, because that is a nice thin, just one line of filament. You'll get a good image there. Now I'll save it to disk, and we're done. Well, print it, and it'll be fine. Thank you very much. Bye.